My boy, Ralph, my man, don't write these releases while you're releasing. Don't write them in the middle of Kumeen, because they'll come across as hella thirsty, dog. Human relationships to rampant sexuality and the grossest pleasure principles. Oh, a program its secret founder boasted will make America stink. Oh, the stench. This one's going to be strange. This one's called The Radical Sex Agenda is Corrupting Your Kids by none other than Mr. Glenn Beck. And if you are too young to remember Glenn Beck, he was really prominent in the 90s. That's when he was like the supervillain. It was like Jon Stewart versus Glenn Beck. Oh, I just noticed I'm very much out of focus. Oh, and I've returned. Much like Glenn Beck's ideas. Here we go.
Following program contains material that may be disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
What if I told you that somebody came to your child and said, oh, you're at home at COVID? You know what you should do? Watch some porn. What would you say?
Based.
What if I told you that it wasn't just one of your son or daughter's buddies, it was their teacher? You may be a young person experiencing the thoughts of healthy sex, or you're the partner or parent or caregiver of something that is feeling this way. How do you support yourself or the loved ones with COVID-19? Because it's making all sorts of relationships challenging. COVID-19. Ready? This is from what I'm going to show you tonight.
He has papers, everyone. Real papers.
Sexting. Do you know that women are 4 times more likely to say they sent a text to feel empowered, twice as likely to say they did it to feel confident? Read more on why people sext and some ideas on how. Solo sex. While social distancing...
It's great because, like, you know, when he started this program, he was probably like, well, I don't want to come across as a perverted Colonel Sanders who's just talking about, you know, sexting and statistics. Is there a way we could do this? He's like, well, as long as you hold some parchment up and you ruffle it and then you read off some stats and figures, no one will ever come across that idea. Like, you'll be fade.
You can practice solo sex, aka masturbating, to get know your own body. Unsure how? Questions? You're not alone. Here's a link to show you how. 3. Porn. Despite mixed messages out there about porn, it is often a very healthy part of people's sexuality. Find out why young people can watch porn and what they can learn from it. Interested in watching porn? Click here. This is from the school curriculum. Date yourself, how you can just date yourself, because you need to have a relationship with yourself. Or I love this one, the 5th suggestion in COVID, go online. Social media is full of sex experts who are sharing resources on mental health, how to use sex toys, tips for dirty talk, communication, consent, how race, class, gender, and power show up in sexuality. Check out some of these amazing educators. You'd call the police if I handed this to your child.
He's not wrong. That is fair. That is totally accurate. If I saw Glenn Beck and he walked up to my kid and handed him a piece of paper, I would call the police. But, and this is an important but, it does not matter what was on the paper. It could be talking about what he was just talking about. It could be just a drawing of a pickle. Either way, I would be like, well, yeah, that's Glenn Beck. He's a huge pervert and he's handing parchment to my child.
But we say nothing when it's in our school. We are headed for the Great Reset. All you need is a crisis. And you
did you see the cameraman? He's like, oh shit, do we pan over to the scribbles? to the arrows? No, we're not doing that yet. Okay, all right, we're back, daddy. I'm good.
Dismantle everything and then reset it. You will understand if you stitch all of the shows together that we have done over the last month or two, from Event 201 all the way to tonight. It is all connected.
The event.
And I'm going to reveal one more cog in the wheel tonight.
Oh my.
The neo-Marxist, later called cultural Marxists.
Oh,
They
shit.
came here to America in 1938, and their goal was to erode America from the inside out. Journalist Ralph Di Tolando described their strategy like this, quote, "The program called for the destruction of religion, the family, education, and all moral values, along with the capture of the intellectuals and the instruments of mass communication such as the press, radio, and films."
So who had Frankfurt School anti-Semitic conspiracy theories before the 5-minute mark? Because I didn't. Like, of all the things, that was not on my bingo sheet. I was not like, oh, are we going to get the postmodern neo-Marxist? But yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, Jordan Peterson can't do this as much anymore because of whatever the hell is going on there. So we need to fill out those bootstraps.
To this, it is appended a new Freudism, which reduced human relationships to rampant sexuality and the grossest pleasure principles. A program its secret founder boasted will make America stink.
So, my boy, Ralph, my man, don't write these releases while you're releasing. Don't write them in the middle of Cumin, because they'll come across as hella thirsty, dog. Human relationships to rampant sexuality and the grossest pleasure principles. Oh, a program its secret founder boasted will make America stink. Oh, the stench.
America, we are rotting to the core. The plan to reduce human relationships to sexuality is happening. Have you noticed how far we've come from friends? And now they're targeting our children.
No.
A warning for those watching tonight. A lot of what I'm about to reveal to you is extremely explicit. So much so that literally, if any of this curriculum...
that I'm literally stewing in my own juices right now. I am absolutely drenched and prepared. My body is ready.
That is being pushed into our schools for our kids as low as kindergarten. It's being debated now in Texas. If it was shown to them outside of school, if I went to them and showed them this in the playground, I kid you not, I'd go to jail. You leave it up to your judgment, but children should not be in the room for this show. I have teenagers, and I wouldn't want them seeing this. They know about all of it, but we have got to save our kids in the hopes that they will save us. I want to show you some images taken from a book that is part of comprehensive sexuality education curriculum, currently floating around in our schools. I said Texas is voting on it, but already in Austin, it's part of the curriculum. How would your child process this? I mean, believe it or not, it gets much, much worse than this. They're not teaching abstinence. They're not doing that. They're teaching kids as early as kindergarten masturbation, anal sex, transgenderism, and abortion. They're telling kids in elementary school, forget what your parents taught you. You can choose when to have sex with someone whenever you want. You don't have to wait to be married. Children are sexual. Let go of all those antiquated beliefs that you learned at home, probably from your white racist parents. Now, you might ask yourself, who the hell agreed to any of this? The answer, not you, not me. The very top of the global political, financial, and technocratic elites.
Wait, it was the Jews? They were the one that did all this? But to what aim? And why? Why? I just don't get it. Why do they want children touching themselves?
The United Nations. It is the same group of people over and over again. You have the UN involved. You also have the WHO. You know how great they are. In fact, the German Federal Ministry of Health. Germans always seem to be involved. They got together with the WHO and the UN back in 2008 in an attempt to rewrite sexual education in the schools. So they published it. Here it is. They published this, and I think in...
You know what this really has a lot of energy of?
This company is being bled like a stuck pig, Mac, and I got a paper trail to prove it. Check this out. Take a look at this. Jesus Christ. That right there is the mail. Now let's talk about the mail. Can we talk about the mail, please, Mac? I'm dying to talk about the mail for you all day, okay? Pepe Sylvia. This name keeps coming up over and over again every day. Pepe's mail getting sent back to me. Pepe Sylvia. Pepe Sylvia. I look at
Oh yeah, this
2008, and if you go to page 40, it directs teachers to teach masturbation and, quote, the enjoyment of touching one's own body. Now, maybe you want to do that with your teenager, maybe. This was for 4-year-olds. 4. Then they took this in one of the most racist moves I could imagine, and they said, okay, the Germans kind of put it together. You know who we should try it on? The Africans. So they exported it to Africa by the United Nations Educational, Science, and Cultural Organization, UNESCO. Aren't they the people that are supposed to be protecting our World Heritage sites? Oh, I feel so much safer now. If you thought this German...
Thanks, Samantha B. I want to give a big shout out to Samantha B for normalizing Glenn Beck and trying to once again make it more palatable to the next generation, because you really set this one up. You teed this one up, and yeah, it's going right on home.
Wait until you see this one on page 79, sexuality in infants and toddlers. Children are sexual even before births. Infants touch and rub their genitals because it provides pleasure.
Wait, infants rub their genitals? This is an actual document that talks about such things?
Children can experience orgasm from masturbation. So forget about the 4-year-old from birth. It describes when children might have choices to have sex and when they might have. Marie and William have had sex once before. Tonight, William tells Marie that he has wanted her all day. Marie would rather just go hang out and talk, but she thinks since they did it once, there's no going back. William starts to take off his clothes. Maria says nothing to him. They have sex again. Or I like this on page 89. Youth need accurate health information about all forms of sexual intercourse, vaginal, oral, and anal. So the Germans, who have never had a problem with racism, they take this and they ship it to Africa. And Africa takes it, and the UN, after they finish poking and prodding Africans, they finalized their work and they published this. This is the International Technical Guidance on Sexuality Education. At the top, it's UNESCO. Little logo that's for Sustainable Development Goals. In other words, UN Agenda 2030.
I at this point I gotta ask: do you think Africa is a country? You talk like you think Africa is a country.
To be called Agenda 21. This is what is now being voted on all over America. How is this garbage actually getting approved? How is it getting pushed? Who's pushing it? State education boards here in the U.S., which ones are debating it? Well, I will tell you, they have a very powerful ally. Another group that I'm sure you're not going to be surprised. Planned Parenthood is cited in this document 14 times.
Of course.
They are hyper-sexualizing children,
of course,
destroying Western values, and
let me guess, now it all ties in. Now it all makes sense. And now we truly see the mask as the veil has been lifted, so to speak. Wow. So basically, the globalists, the international cabal, the bankers, all of them, they're collaborating in order to teach children to masturbate in the womb, and at which point they will get out, and the postmodern neo-Marxists are then going to take the masturbating womb children, and they're going to use them in order to inseminate Africa, the country. And now there it is. It's all been laid before you. We have the documents. We have parchment. I have multiple pages, paper, it's all there. It's all there. We've seen it all.
Creating a whole lot of future customers to boot.
Blaze. Did you blaze it, everyone? Did you blaze it? Hey, Stephen J. Neptune, thank you for 150 biddies. Oh, and by the way, let me give a thank you to everyone who's been doing things. Stephen J. Neptune, man, thank you for the biddies.
I remember in 2008 when Glenn Beck was the top dog in conservative circles. This is such a throwback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. Jon Stewart, when I'm sure everyone here used to watch Jon Stewart the same way we watch Twitch streamers now, he used to have quite a vendetta against Glenn Beck, and he had some funny bits where he would mock him, and I enjoyed it. Planned Parenthood gives you all the drugs. Really? That's amazing. You know, the funny thing about Planned Parenthood, and this is kind of wild, is that Planned Parenthood, at the end of the day, their sum total, I think, not only budget, but time spent doing abortions, I believe is like 3% of what they do. The rest of the time, it's usually women's reproductive health, and it's usually done in areas where the population cannot afford it otherwise. So if it wasn't for that, I mean, even Donald Trump, before he had to go full-on MAGA, was saying things like, well, Planned Parenthood does some good things for women's bodies. Usually someone has to after I touch them inappropriately. So there was that.
What's up, guys? This is Connor O'Hanlon. I am the host of the Con O Show, which is a weekly podcast, for now at least, where I upload weekly onto YouTube the full video version of the show, and I also upload to Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I discuss weekly happenings in current events and politics, a little bit more towards the Pennsylvania and United States politics in particular. I'm trying to have more guests on, so if you'd like to be a guest, always welcome. And if you have been a longtime Serfs fan, back a little over a year ago, I was known as the Woke Chad on the Serfs channel. So I would love for you guys to come and join me and help me break 500 subscribers. Thank you so much for all that you do.
Hey, we want to mutual aid you to get some eyeballs on your work. So if you have a leftist YouTube channel or Twitch stream or something you want us to advertise, just send us a 20 to 30 second ad using the forums at weareserfs.com. We'll do our best to help you out. And please submit once per channel.
To our God, I'm Wrath. We pray at your altar of greatness. To our monarch, Thomas Bone, you are the light that guides our path. To our lords, Jeffrey Lamb, Trevor R., Stephen, Nine Tails Cosmic Fox, Hans Josephine, and Poppy Nelson, we bow meekly for your pleasure. To our knights of the Round Table, Josh Mickelson, Dylan Byth, Alexander Thaler, Zach Christensen, Todd Buckingham, Todd Lajeunesse, Clement Chetska, Skybear Games, Moss Beast, Political Puppy, Ali Menthol, Jimmy Bignuts, Alan R., Andreas Chitoro, Good Poon Hates Cops, That's Solid Poon Then, Dr. Zayas, Joppy, Radiclu, Violent Orchard, and Sophie Baby, we salute you. And to our many merchants and farmers, thank you. Fuck you, Lance!